How's it hanging, YouTube? Peter here, your Ginger Jody Geek. Welcome back to the channel. And as ever, I'm joined by my good friends, James T. Keegan. How are you doing, sir?
Heyo.
Are you well?
I'm feeling ducky.
Oh, God almighty. Don't you start. Don't you start. Luke, how are you? And I dare you. I dare you to say I'm feeling ducky.
I'm feeling ducky.
Oh. How are you, mate? Are you well?
I'm good, thank you. It's nice and warm here this weekend.
Yeah, it's scorchio. It's been very, very hot where I am. In fact, I caught the sun on my bulbous forehead. So yeah, it's been quite hot, I'm afraid. So we will be joined by comic lad Simon, but he's just otherwise engaged at the moment, but I'm sure he'll be jumping on shortly. And we're here tonight, as ever, to talk toys. So we've got a whole host of interesting stuff to go through. We're going to talk 1/6 scale action figures. We're going to talk video games. Did I get it right, James? It's video games, isn't it?
Yes, not computer games.
Not computer
I didn't
games.
say that to you, that I hate people
Okay.
saying that, but you sensed it from me, I think.
I can feel it. Yeah. So we're going to talk about video games. And we're going to talk smaller scale action figures and Star Wars figures. So, excuse me, lots to get into. So before we start, just quickly jump into the chat. We have got, as ever, good old StreamYard. Thank you for joining. We've got Jack. Thank you very much for joining, Jack. We've got the one and only Fuzzy. I need cheering up. Entertainment is needed. Yeah, not sure you're in the right place tonight, Fuzzy, because I'm feeling irritable tonight. So we'll see how we'll go, mate. We've got Ian Carter. Thank you very much for joining, Ian. We've got Chris from Cole Collects. Thank you for joining. And we've got Wayne. Nice to see you, bud. Okay. What's that? I tell you, Fuzzy, it ain't all quacked up this show. We're off. Okay, so like I say, lots to get through. We'll make a start, gang. And as ever, we've got a whole host of slides. So first off, I wanted to talk about this. This is our giveaway for this particular show. And it's behind us here. So this is James, make us big. How do I do that? There we are. This is a box set of a Mego style figures. This is a limited edition. It's Thor, and you get the kind of the modern Thor costume. You get a Don Blake costume, and you get the Thor figure itself. So we are giving that away to a subscriber and a viewer. All you have to do over the next few weeks is send me a picture on Instagram of your favorite action figure or toy. So please do send us those in. And on the next show, we'll do a draw thing and we'll give this to somebody. And I'll send it anywhere in the world. And we've got GP. Thank you very much for joining, bud. Nice to see you. So, like I say, guys, send us an image of your favorite action figure, and we'll give that away next time. Okay. We'll start off as we always do, guys, with 1/6 scale. Interested to get your views because we've had some good figures this last week. Thank you very much for joining, Kenneth. So, like I say, we've got some really interesting figures. So we'll just crack straight on with this bad boy. So this is the in-art Harry Potter. I don't know what I was expecting with this, guys, but I friggin' love it. I don't know why. I am a Harry Potter fan. And there are some issues with this I want to talk about in a little bit. But I think the likeness for this, particularly that image with him with the Sawn hat on, is absolutely stunning. James, we'll work down the screen. What are your thoughts on this, bud?
I love the look of it. It's smack on. Like you can tell that kind of in-art sheen of quality is on this. Perfect set of accessories at the you have the scarf and the sword and hat, the wand, everything flawless. Even like the rooted hair, like this rooted hair and the sculpted hair. The sculpted hair even looks great as well.
Yeah. So Luke, because I know you're not particularly a 1/6 scale kind of, you're not necessarily on the news. This is a 2-pack, so you can get it with the standard rooted hair with the accessories you see at the top, and then in the other one, the deluxe version, it's sculpted hair, and you get the kind of the add-on bits at the bottom. Now, the interesting thing on this, and I know James has spotted this as well, one of Harry Potter's kind of defining features, I would argue, is that scar on his forehead. You can only see the scar on the rooted hair version because the molded hair covers the scar completely.
I think that's okay. I think that's okay. Right. He has to lift his hair to see the scar anyway, right?
Yeah. And that's how they've got it pictured. They've got it lifted his hair. But yeah, I don't know. I wasn't buying this. But I don't know.
What is the rough price point on it?
Oh God,
it's not a number, Luke. It's just like it's just a noise.
I was buying this until I saw the price.
See, because
I believe.
So that's the thing, right? I'm looking at it and I'm going, I didn't think I needed this until I saw it, but I think I would easily be put off by the price.
I believe the rooted hair version is $600.
Yeah, no way.
$450 maybe for the.
Was it not around three? Was it $320 for the non-rooted? I think.
If I was ever gonna buy a 1/6 scale figure, like I do have one or two, but if I was ever gonna buy one, 300 is like my top limit. I can't afford to spend that much on a single toy when I know I can buy so much else.
Yeah.
I know that you guys have spent a lot more than that, but yeah, that's kind of my absolute limit that I could go with one of these things.
What's your limit? Sorry.
About 300. I don't think I could go above that, and that would have to include the postage as well. Like,
yeah. I mean, that's true. Yeah. Hi, John. Thanks for joining, Bate. I mean, Simon, what are your thoughts on this? Is this something you're jumping to the price point?
Sorry, I'm late. I don't think I would spend that much on a Harry Potter 1/6 scale. It is a bit above my budget. Like, if I was to get my first 1/6, I think, like, I'm with Luke, my budget would be around 300.
Yeah.
So
I think there's no denying, guys, is there, that this is a pretty stunning figure. I mean, the head sculpt, the face on that, certainly that center image, I think, is absolutely bang on. I think.
I just think like it's as far as I'm aware, the most expensive single in art figure, that deluxe one.
Right.
Like we've seen like amazing. There's an Aragorn coming out that looks incredible.
Yeah.
Gandalf looks incredible. Why are they cheaper? Like I don't really understand. Like I looked at this and I think we had a 1/6 show talking about this a couple weeks ago, Peter, and a lot of people were kind of assuming this was going to be a little bit cheaper because it's a smaller figure, and it's not. Like it's way more. It's kind of crazy.
Is it a licensing issue or is this a third party thing? Like
no, this is licensed.
So
in art are the kind of the new big boys in the 1/6 community, and the figures are a little bit pricey. You could pay them more for the rooted hair, and I would argue with this particular figure, the rooted hair is a bit safer because it is literally a bowl cut. Do you know what I mean? Whereas with the Joker one, it's very complex, and people are having to spend a bit of time molding the hair and hairspray and stuff. Not for me, but I have to say it is a very beautiful piece. And I think if you're a Harry Potter fan and you could get it for a decent price, that the accessory, the kind of the wall bit, I think the broom must kind of peg into it somehow, and it looks like he's flying, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, up.
Yeah. So not a one for me. Just quickly going to jump into the comments here. We've got Wayne saying for that he better be absolutely. All right, GP. Hope those arms are covered with the sun. We've got Fuzzy. Oops, his screen's frozen. Fuzzy, £600. I expect actual magic. Not a chance I pay that for it personally. Yeah, excuse me. It's a lot of money, Fuzzy, mate. Imagine how many turtles you could get with that, Fuzzy. You could get all the turtles you wanted. Highland G, thank you for joining, bud. Peter, you're looking a lovely tone of Newcastle sunset this evening. Catch the sun, lad. My forehead is friggin' pulsing, Andy. Honestly, it's literally, this is a black top. This is just the heat radiating from us. It's ridiculous. But yeah. So, not a fan. Well, sorry, I am a fan of this, but not one for me to buy. This one, you're going to have to talk us down, guys. I keep looking at it. It's sexy.
What's the price?
It's not bad. It's round about 300, I think. I can get it for. That's 300. Sorry, 300, not including shipping. So this is Batman Modern Suit, which is from the Flash movie. It looks pretty cool. You get all those accessories with it. If you're in one of the first Hot Toys release figures in kind of runs, if you get the first run, you get that cowl mask as an accessory, which I think looks pretty cool. You get a number of mouth plates. I love the smiling mouth plate. I love the look of the suit. Michael Keaton's face. Now, this has caused a bit of controversy. Some people are saying the Michael Keaton likeness isn't there. I think that's bollocks. I think as soon as I look at that, it's Michael Keaton. What I would say is they've gone very in on the dimpling on him, but then the images of him in the movie, he's got quite a dimpled face.
Yeah, I think people just aren't used to old man Michael Keaton, Batman. You know, that's probably why. Like when we see the movie, you'll be like, "Oh no, this is a great representation."
Now the argument is, the difficulty here is, I've got a Batman '89, so I've got the original Batman. I've got a Batmobile coming. I've got a Jack Nicholson Joker. Do I need this in my collection? Now I've hovered on and off this for ages. James talked us out of it.
But you are sort of going Batman themed, like a lot of them, so you might as well just carry on.
But you have a Keaton Batman already. Like, do you need this new Keaton Batman? Like,
I haven't got a wrinkly Keaton. I haven't got a wrinkly Keaton.
I think you're missing the trick. I think you're missing the trick here. I think you should have like 3 of you on screen, you in the middle, and a little devil and angel on either side. Do you know what? So it all depends on how you're going to display them. Like, obviously, you buy this figure because you want that Keaton head sculpt. I wouldn't buy this figure to have him wearing the suit.
Oh, you see, I would, because so what you're saying, Lucas, I need to buy 2.
Yeah. I mean, you would display this.
But like, I feel like him holding the cowl in his hand, like what you see on the left-hand side there. I think that's why you buy a figure like this. That's why you have those civilian-style heads, because everyone's got a Batman. Everyone can buy a Batman. You're buying it for that additional sculpted face.
I don't know. The shot's not clear enough there, but that third head sculpt of him smirking is stunning. It looks absolutely stunning. So I don't know. Simon, what do you think? Would you pick this one up? 300, say 320 with postage.
Not me personally, but I think it's good. Yeah, I think you should pick it up. So.
So basically, it's James versus Simon. Who do I go with?
I don't care. I just want to make that clear. I don't care what it's
there you go. There's your answer.
The fact is that he's already got it added in basket. He just needs to click the final.
That's it. He's bought it already. He's just too ashamed to admit it. Like, he'll say next week.
I honestly haven't. I spent a good 20 minutes this morning hovering over the buy it.
No. So I'll be in your basket by midnight tonight. Then I think.
Just jump to the chat, guys. See what people are saying. Wayne, gingers get burned from a light bulb. I can't disagree with that. Chris, buy it. See, Chris is speaking my language. You need it. Jack, hi everyone. Hi, nice to see you, bud. Wayne looks very cool. Mine not bad, and Peter's not bad, are wildly different. Do you think that's a bad head sculpt, Fuzzy? Do you think that doesn't look like Michael Keaton? I don't know. JP looks stunning. Jack looks phenomenal. Hang J, it looks pretty good overall. Those trousers look a bit off, stretchy leather. Well, that's a real interesting point, Hang J. So the Batman 89 figure, so the original figure, has got horrendous articulation because of the suit. The suit, you've literally just got to stand him in a museum pose. Whereas this one has got a much more flexible suit. That's one of the big selling points from it.
Is it pleather?
No, it's not pleather, mate. No.
Okay,
no.
Right.
Christ,
I will never buy a pleather figure because the idea of having one of these and in 5 years it being destroyed from pleather flaking.
Yeah. Absolutely. It would do me head in. Andy, all I hear when I watch the show is Pete in a monologue. Bought by 2. Keaton's hairline's a bit much. Face-wise, it's there. Just the hair that makes it look old. Yeah, and interestingly, Fuzzy, when you look at the images of him from the movie, he hasn't got that kind of that central bit, if you know what I mean. That's not how his hair is. I'm not sure why they've gone with that. By the end of the show, he's on his phone. Yeah, absolutely. Andy's saying he'd kill for that hairline. The more I look at it, the more it only looks good from the waist up. Oh, interesting, Highland G. Something that my wife used to say to me. JP is someone in the 40s. It's all about the hairline. Absolutely. Let's be honest. We know it's coming. Got it for a steal.
Perfect one there.
Yeah, he knows too well, mate. He knows too well. We've got Sean here. Nice to see you, Sean. Okay, now the big factor, I guess, that's not making us hit that trigger for this figure is the film he's going to be in, which is The Flash with Ezra Miller. And excuse me, I'm not sure how I feel about having something from that particular movie represented in my collection, which is why I'm kind of sitting on my hands until I've seen the film. Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. Like you say, I'll probably just bought it by the end of the night. Now, this has caused all kinds of controversy. So this is from Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This is a hot toy, Spider-Man 2099. The controversy is that it's solid plastic. So it's not got a fabric costume at all. It's painted plastic, and it's got all those exposed joints. And a lot of the 1/6 scale community have gone crackers about this, saying that it looks crap. It looks like a large Marvel Legend, which isn't an issue, but I guess it is when you're paying £280, £300 for a figure. What do you guys think of this? Just your quick take on it. We'll start again. We'll work down. So, James?
Absolute horseshit. Like, no,
on the fence, James.
You're bang on. This is like a big Marvel Legend, you know. So where do they get off charging that much money for it? You know, there's not a stitch of fabric. Like you said, it's plastic. It's an action figure. It's not like a hot toy, like proper that kind of sheen and quality. Like some cool accessories. You know, I quite like the animated style, but like I don't know why they didn't go the route they went with like the Miles and the Gwen, and just go for a fabric, even just for the arms and the joints. You know.
Interesting. Luke, what about yourself?
Yeah, well, it's very easy for me to say because I don't collect them and I don't have the Miles or the Gwen, and I'm not anticipating the hope of getting another one. But if you don't want it, don't buy it. I'm sure they're going to end up releasing another version of it soon. This isn't even the first one of this character that we've ever had.
No. Yeah.
And like with many things, if people don't buy it, then they're going to try again and go a different route. So, you know, show them with your wallet. You know, don't buy the crap, and they won't continue to make the crap.
Yeah, it's a good point, mate. Good point. Simon, what are your thoughts?
Obviously, I don't have any 1/6, but yeah, it does look vaguely like the Marvel Legends one that is basically coming out. So, yeah. It's a shame because obviously you want it more articulated if you're paying that sort of money for a 1/6 scale. So,
yeah.
No, I'd imagine articulation is excellent on it.
Yeah, the articulation is
the joints on it. Like,
yeah.
You
know.
But
so I'm just going to quickly jump to the comments, and I'll let you know what I think of it. Wayne, don't get the Batman. Think how many ice creams. Think how many ice creams I could get with that. Yeah, very, very true. Fuzzy's, I love this. Fuzzy's view is pure mince. Yeah, it's one of my favorite phrases. That Wayne is saying it looks horrible. Incredible crotch action. Yeah, he's a big lad. Wayne looks horrible. Said that at this Promiscuous Time Traveler. Thank you very much for joining me. At this rate, I can make my own toys. Please do check out the Promiscuous Time Traveler's channel. He does some great kind of how can I describe them? Kind of one-off rants where he pops online and he gets off his chest whatever is kind of the topic of the day. And I watched the one when I was at work last week, and I have to say it was fantastic. I had a great laugh. So please do check that out.
I like him already.
Check the arse pick. Yeah, it's good. It's got some good buns in them. It's like if Spider-Man and Superman had a love child from hell. Yeah. It's bad, and the Marvel Legends 2099 is no better. Yeah, I've got the Gamerverse 2099, and I love that one. It's a really, really cool
stunning.
So Andy gives me Mondo vibes. I like it. So that's kind of where I'm going to come to next, mate. You're on my wavelength. Hate Spider-Man 2099 with a passion. Well, I quite like him. He's a good character, I think. I'll say all this. I don't own a single hot toy, so my opinions don't count for much. Fuzzy, your opinions always count, mate. Always
Exactly.
count.
You've watched
Looks
enough
like
of us
cheap
to
tat,
know.
in my opinion. Yeah, exactly. So I first saw this and I thought it looked like dog shade. I like the colors. I think it stands out. I think it pops. But everything you guys have just said, it looks like a small action figure that they've just blown up. I hate the exposed joints. It's not what I expect from Hot Toys at all. But after I've hummed and hawed and thought about it, I thought, you know what it is? I've got an entire cabinet full of Mondo He-Man figures, which are exactly the same as this. You know, they've got armor and costumes on, but they're all exposed joints, and I love them. So I think it's because it's Hot Toys that I've got my issue. Do you know? And that kind of
Absolutely.
brings me on to this. This is Mondo's new Sabretooth figure. I think that looks amazing, and that's the X-Men line.
Yeah.
But we're not getting upset about them because they're just Mondo. Do you know what I mean? So it is an interesting one.
I was upset because it wasn't 6 or 7 inch figure. It was the bigger one. When I first saw it being announced, I went, "That's amazing! I've got to have it." And then I realized it was a 1/6, and I was upset.
Yeah. Now, but are these because I the only Mondo figure I have is a Kratos, and to my recollection, it was like in the 250 range. Are these cheaper? Like, are these like in the 200? Like,
I think they're around 2. So the problem with Mondo figures, because obviously I bought a few, is that you've got to pay for shipping over here normally, unless you get one of the timed deals where they include shipping, and then you get hit by customs because they always mark the customs crate. So for a UK buyer, the price goes up. So I reckon you're paying around about, I'm guessing here, 230, 250 for these kind of figures. But they do look pretty cool. So yeah, it's an interesting one. Promiscuous Time Travel, thanks for the shout out. The rants go private 24 hours after posting because I do name names. He absolutely does. Absolutely. But, and again, I'm not blowing smoke up his arse because he's just joined me. What I would say is this guy's got some real good views, so check him out because he also used to, and correct us if I'm wrong, used to own a comic shop. So he talks a lot about kind of the intel and the stuff that used to happen, or he used to work in a comic shop, I can't remember which, but he's got a lot of knowledge from that kind of background. So yeah, worth checking out. That Sabretooth is perfect to the source material. Absolutely fuzzy. See what I mean? It does look stunning. And also with the I haven't got it on here. Oh no, it is there. You get the muzzle for the exclusives. So you get the clip-on muzzle, which I really, really like.
Do you think Susu might jump on like a realistic version of this?
Yeah, I hope
that'd be
so.
cool. I'd like to see that.
I just wish
Andy,
Hasbro would make some.
Yeah.
Me and Luke want a Hasbro version. I've got the Jubilee and the Wolverine in this version.
It must be coming. It must be.
Most views of Hot Toys are premised by the price and not the detail and the quality, I reckon. As a display piece at $20.99, you probably won't get better. Yeah, I think you're right about. Cell shading characters can look a lot good in painted plastic. I think it's an artistic choice. Yeah, agree. Worked for one, yes. I'll accept all the smoke. Absolutely. Cell shaded characters can look. Oh, that one. Sorry. And I could rant about this. I bet you could, GP. I bet you could. Now, I'm pretty sure. I don't think I'm just talking bullshit, but I'm pretty sure the Magneto Mondo toy has got magnets in his hands, so you can stick stuff to it and whatnot, which I think is very, very cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. So they're nice figures. Not for me, out because I haven't gone down that rabbit hole of that line. But I have picked up a lot of the Masters ones, as you know.
So, Peter, what do you reckon? You have a Gambit already, don't you?
So I've got a So Toys comic accurate version Gambit, yeah.
Gambit, yeah.
And a Wolverine?
Yeah.
And the Magneto.
And the Magneto.
And the Cyclops.
And
Rogue.
And the Nightcrawler. And the Cable.
Which X-Men don't you have? It might be a
Prof
short
X.
list.
Prof X. I haven't got Prof X.
No.
Okay, guys, moving on. So, from the same line, this is the Miles Morales. Sorry, got chest. And again, it's quite similar to the last Spider-Verse Miles Morales we got. I think it's a pretty nice figure. I like the costume. I like the added effect of the spider sense, which I don't think we've had before on a figure.
I believe my Gamerverse one has something like that. I think so, yeah.
I particularly like the added kind of backdrop with the spot hands and feet and things coming through it. I think that looks pretty cool. Yeah. Now I've just picked up the last Miles from this. Does this make us want to pick that one up as well? No, probably not. I'll stick with the one I've got. Does this jump out at anybody? Anybody interested in this one?
Got a Miles already, so I'm happy with that.
What's the difference between your Miles and this one then?
The costume designs based on the last movie on mine. This costume's different, I think. Yeah. And the civilian kind of attire is different.
Has he got the shorts and stuff on the other one, hasn't he?
He's got shorts,
got full length jeans in this one.
And shorts and the hoodie.
He's got I prefer the shorts and hoodie one. And these.
Well, ask Andy. Andy's got one as well, and it'll be interesting to see what bits and bobs he's got, because I don't think Andy's even opened his yet. I think he's had it in the box
GP,
for like 3 months.
This is a scandalous
Get out
thing to say now.
We need all the subs we've got.
How dare you?
Luke, what were you about to say, mate?
I was going to say Miles Morales is the one figure that I do have. I have a 1/6 scale of. I bought the third-party one. I can't remember what company made it, but it came out before even the Hot Toys one and everything else. And I've got him dressed up in the Spider-Man costume. You know what he gets from Stan Lee in the movie.
Yeah.
And I loved that. You know, I could have him dressed up in his normal Spider gear. I could have him dressed up in his civilian gear, but I've chosen that Spider-Man fancy dress costume. It looks great.
So to be quite frank, in terms of value for money, this figure and the previous release that I know, like I say, Andy's got and I've picked up as well, I know Ben's got as well, are great value for money if you're willing to play around a bit. So you get your base figure and the Spider-Man figure, as you can see there. But then what I did was I bought a really cheap body off eBay, and you get that many head sculpts and clothes. I've actually managed to create a Miles figure as well. So I've got my Spider-Man, and then I've kit bashed using the costumes and everything, a second figure. So in reality, I've got 2 figures for the price of 1, you know.
That's great, Luke.
I mean, Luke, that's a tremendous figure, mate. Tremendous figure. Very cool. So yeah, so that's the Miles, which I think is pretty cool. Okay. Now, Luke, I know you'll be counting me slides. This is a 6th slide. What are you going to do? I've put this one in. He wasn't hearing. He wasn't listening, so it's fine. He wouldn't have noticed. So this is.
I'll have to watch a rewind now, won't I?
Yeah, watch the rewind and see. Get us a view. I've added this one in because it's come out last minute today. This is the Boss Man 2.0 from Sorcerer Toys. I've got Boss Man 1.0, I guess you'd call him, in his white kind of tux. This is obviously the Hawaiian shirt version. It looks very good. I think that head sculpt is stunning. You can get this for pretty cheap as well. 120 pound, I think it is. Yeah, very, very nice. This one of interest to anybody?
I hate this costume design. I know. Yeah, I hate it. Like, I didn't think it looked good in the show. I don't think, like, I think the figure looks great. 120 is an absolute steal. I think for 1/6 as well. Amazing head sculpt. If you like this design, this is an amazing figure. Good luck getting one because there's only 300 of them. But I just don't like this. I like the sleek white suit from Daredevil season 3. I'm not really a fan of this one.
And this is a really interesting, just little backstory here, because I think I might have talked about this before. I've just realized I didn't play my jingle for my section. No, not to worry. But yeah, this is an interesting little detail. These figures are third party, so they're unlicensed. So nobody's so the guy Vincent isn't getting any fun, any pay for this figure. Someone took one to a convention. What are you laughing at? Is it not Vincent?
No, I just saw looks. can't slip that by
it. Yeah, so someone took this figure to a convention and got the actor to sign it.
Yeah,
and then posted it. And
there was a photo op with this.
There was a bit of grief online about it because actually he's getting no royalties for this figure, which is interesting.
He'd be like, "What the fuck is this? I didn't approve this. Like, I'm not getting paid for this."
But when we talk about head sculpts, that figure is friggin' spot on. That head sculpt to me, I think it looks amazing. You know, it's very, very cool. Okay, guys, that's all the 1/6 scale news. Any of those that you think you might be tempted to pick up?
Maybe Harry Potter.
I can see which ones other people would want to pick up. I'm out. Like it's the price point for me. I can't justify it.
Look, did you never fancy picking up the Leon figure? Because I know that was a big favorite of yours.
So the two that I'm desperate for, if I can get the money together, you know, obviously I would like to get a He-Man for my Battle Cat that's coming. That's on the list. But I want the Leon figure, and I really like that Rocketeer. Yeah. I know you had a lot of problems with it, a lot of like sorting it all out, but I'm a big fan of that character. So if I was going to buy any of them, those would be the ones I'd go for.
Yeah, the Rocketeer is a nice figure, but it's a pain in the arse. Oh, oh God, Fuzzy. Okay, guys. Next up, what we got? Okay, James, you're up, mate. Take it away.
Righto. So, if I can get
I
this
clicked.
slides up, there we go. Okay. Yeah. So, Sony had their big kind of they do it like every year and a half or so, a showcase. It's usually to show what their first party games are going to be for the next like couple of years. But there wasn't many first party games at it, but a couple of things were announced and some release dates came out. So Assassin's Creed Mirage, this new Assassin's Creed game, it's out in October. Some gameplay from that. Looks like it's kind of going a bit back to the roots, like the original Assassin's Creed. It's very kind of reminiscent of that. I'm not really crazy about the RPG route that series has gone into lately, so I'm quite interested in this one. I like the setting. I know this character is Balzar, I think, or something. He's from one of the other games, like one of the more recent ones, but looks pretty cool. Like back to the roots. So I'm interested in this one, and he's like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. I've played a few of them.
I've only played it once.
Yeah.
I think, did I watch a movie Assassin's Creed as well? Did they do a movie?
Yeah,
with,
Michael Fassbender.
yeah.
And Marion Cotillard, yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm definitely interested anyway. Alan Wake 2 got a gameplay reveal, and that's out in October as well. Looks phenomenal. I'm really excited to play that one. Alan Wake is a game I'm very nostalgic about. I actually bought an Xbox just to play it because it was an Xbox exclusive.
I don't know this one at all, James. Which I don't know.
We never played Alan Wake, so it's the company Remedy. So they did Max Payne and Control there was the most recent game, but like they have kind of like a video game universe. So other than Max Payne, their other games are like all in the same universe. So like Control,
Max Payne as a video game was amazing. I first played it on PC and then bought it on Xbox, I think.
Yeah, they're working on a remake actually of the original one as well, so I'm excited to see that. But yeah, Alan Wake is like my top 10 favorite games, so I'm very excited to see. It's about like an author. It's sort of like Twin Peaks style, whereas like what his book starts coming to life, and there's these kind of shadow monsters, and you have to like shine a flashlight at them to weaken them and then shoot them. Really cool. So yeah, 2 playable characters, so that's kind of interesting. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a really great one, and I'm very excited to give that a go. And then a few games were announced, mostly kind of indie ones, but a couple that kind of stood out to me. Fair Games is the from Haven Studios. So this is Jade Raymond, who is one of the creators of Assassin's Creed. She formed her own studio, and it was bought by Sony just last year. So it's like a 4-player kind of heist game. I did have an Xbox yet. There was a few games I couldn't get on PlayStation. But yeah, it's a 4-player co-op multiplayer game. So it looks kind of interesting. It's just a cinematic trailer, but it's zany and fun. And Sony, I think, kind of needs a multiplayer franchise. So kind of interesting. Sword of the Sea is from the developer of Journey. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of that.
I think I've heard of Journey. Yeah.
It's this like multi-award winning, very kind of artsy. It's only like 2 hours, but it's like kind of they do these kind of like high art games. With like no story, like you're just kind of often just like going through an environment, and it's just kind of music plays, and it's very emotional. So this is their new game, where you're on like a surfboard going around the water. So it looked cool. So that was that to me. And then there's a few other games that were announced as well. There's like a cat one. There's a couple of cat ones actually. There was one
where a cat one you showed a while ago.
Stray. That's an unrelated cat game. Yeah. There's one called like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, for God's
sake! Like a cat pirate game. Yeah. But like, honestly, there wasn't like much really any major first party. Like, I think there was a few games where people were expecting that didn't show up. But one game that was announced is the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. Yeah. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater is widely regarded as one of the best games ever made. I would say top 10 games for me. Just amazing story. It's got this kind of Bond aesthetic to it, kind of a survival mechanics where you have to like shoot snakes and eat them, and obviously because of the name, or other animals. But yeah, fantastic. I'm really, really excited to play this, like kind of a sheen quality on it, some updated gameplay and stuff.
I can't remember where I got to with the Metal Gear Solid franchise. I don't even know if it was I stopped at Metal Gear 1. I can't remember. Which is the one where the there's like an invisible ninja, white ninja attacks you.
One.
Is that number?
I believe in the second game, it happens again in the second game. There's another cyborg ninja.
Okay.
Yeah. But like, yeah,
incredible games, man. I remember, because I am very old, I remember back in the game when Metal 1 came out, just being blown away with the graphics, but also the storytelling of it. Because it was like nothing I'd ever played before. It was just phenomenal.
Yeah. And like they get a bit convoluted, but that's kind of the beauty of Snake Eaters. It's a prequel set in the 60s, so you don't need any of the other stuff. The only thing that people are a bit iffy about is that the creator of the series, Hideo Kojima, had like a falling out with Konami like 10 years ago. And it's just coincidence, Fuzzy. I swear to God. It's like, honestly, Alan Wake and Metal Gear Solid 3 are in my top 10. But he's not involved in this in any way. His name's not on it in any way. Usually you would say a Hideo Kojima game. So people are a bit sketchy about that. But I think, you know, if you just take the level design and the story of that and just translate it with modern gameplay, I think it's going to be amazing.
I'm surprised with all the kind of excitement about video games and video game properties that Metal Gear Solid hasn't been snapped up. Is there a movie in the works or anything? Or
yes, there is. Oscar Isaac is supposed to be playing Snake. Really? Yeah, and it's being directed by Jordan Voss something. He did Kong Skull Island. Yeah, so he's supposed to be doing it. But, this was announced like 6 years ago and nothing yet. So we'll see if it actually happens. But I
think there's going to be a new Kong movie before you get this.
Yeah, I would imagine so. But this is something I know people have wanted for a very, very long time. So this was the big, amazing announcement of the night anyway. But the thing I was kind of most excited going in was certain was going to happen, and it did. Spider-Man 2 gameplay reveal. Yeah, you watched this.
I've watched this. It's amazing. Yeah,
incredible. So this is Insomniac's new Spider-Man game sequel. The black suit revealed. I think looks incredible. Like definitely very classic. Like 100% there'll be a Hot Toy this because Hot Toys love doing
the game
Spidey figures from this. Yeah, but like just the texture of it, it looks like organic. There's almost like a bit of like Xenomorph influence there with like some fleshy looking bits on it. Like it just looks really cool. And then in the gameplay, it just looks incredible. Like and you can see like even normal moves are a bit more aggressive. Peter sounds very kind of angry, as he does usually in these kind of black suit storylines. So
I love this.
Have you got
very well.
A picture of Craven on it? And because obviously it's all about him, isn't it? In this,
well, you jumped the gun a little bit.
Sorry.
But yes, I do have a picture. Some of the other stuff that were in the trailer. Yeah, Craven is one of the main villains of the game. So it's him kind of tracking down. Luke, I don't know, did you see any of this? But the lizard is featured quite heavily in this.
Do you know what? I have not seen any of it, but now I'm definitely going to head over and take a look. What I have seen is some people have been doing kit bashes with their Marvel Legends Black Spider-Man figure and making those long tentacles. Now I know why. Now it's obviously because of this. So no, as soon as we're done here, I'm going to check this out.
Yeah, it looks amazing in gameplay. Like the way it's just so gross. Like I love it. Even like the regular webbing is black as well, which is a nice like little touch.
I might have to get a PlayStation. I've got an Xbox. We're an Xbox family, but it irritates me that these are coming out on kind of consoles that I can't get access to.
It's almost like you chose wrong.
I struggle to justify. I struggle to justify the price for one game. I need there needs to be a couple that I know I'm going to sit and play, and then I might consider buying the console. Like I say,
just curious, Luke, since you're such a big Lizard fan, what do you think of that design on the bottom left?
Yeah, I can't say I particularly like the more monstrous style. Like when the bigger they make him, the less I care. Like
it's a plot point in it that he's getting bigger as it goes.
Yeah, I mean, even in the comics, they've done this whole thing where he shed his old skin and he was a different appearance underneath, and I didn't really like that either. Do you know what I mean? But it's an artistic choice. It could. Yeah. If you're going to have these video game big boss battles, it makes sense. He's going to be a huge monster.
Yeah, and it's a very cool sequence in the demo where he's chasing Miles through the water and Miles kind of ziplining on a drone, and it's really cool, like really.
Is that some other kind of? Was that through Brooklyn Bridge? Is it where he's swimming or?
Queen. I think it was between Queens and Manhattan. So the Queens is going to be an area that's going to be in it. So we haven't seen that.
But he
previously.
does look a bit like Godzilla war going through the water, doesn't he? So
yeah, it's a bit Killer Croc-esque. Like I think they took a lot of influence from Arkham. Like there's some horror elements to it, but some other kind of traversal things. The web wings are in it, so you can basically just fly through the city. And then Miles is kind of electricity powers. So some new features of that as well.
James, you're doing your job well here because I'm considering buying a PlayStation. Sean's chubbing everybody on. Andy's thinking about getting one. GP's thinking about getting one.
I might even get one.
I should do.
Can we all just chip in and buy one and share it?
Play it and then send it to each other. Yeah, I mean, between this, you have the Wolverine game will be coming next. You know, so I think like it's definitely worth it if you're a fan of these. Yeah.
Covering the important topics, Fuzzy. Covering the important topics.
So like, it looks incredible. Like it looks like a really great upgrade from the last one. I'm happy that it's only on PS5. It's not a PS4 game as well, so it's not going to be held back in any way. Like it's a true kind of next gen game. So very excited for this one.
Good stuff.
Something that people were really expecting to show up at the showcase and didn't is the Last of Us multiplayer game, and it's come out since that. It's kind of in trouble. So apparently Sony has kind of reviewed it and don't see like it viable as it doesn't see like a profitable game in it. So the development team has been pulled back. I'd imagine because it's Naughty Dog, it's not like bogged down with microtransactions and that kind of stuff. So like Sony's a bit like, is this really viable long term? But apparently they pulled a large chunk of the team off of it. Now this has been in development for like 6 years because this was supposed to be the Last of Us Part 2 multiplayer, and it kind of grew into its own thing. But yeah, bad. Like a lot of people are kind of speculating it's going to end up getting cancelled, which is really unfortunate. I was really excited for this one and figured it was going to be out this year or early next year. So like we were supposed to see something of it this year, and now it's like, it's been delayed.
I am surprised at this, considering how popular The Last of Us is at the moment. I kind of would have thought this would be like a big key for them.
You would think so, and Sony definitely need a big multiplayer. Like that's kind of where they're falling back. Like Microsoft has Halo and Gears, very active multiplayer bases. PC, obviously, its own thing. They don't have a major first party multiplayer game, and yeah, this should have been amazing. But like, I don't, sometimes games just kind of meander in development for several years and then get cancelled. So I guess that's kind of what's happening here. Hopefully this does come out, but like, it seems like it'll be a couple of years away, if not more, if it does. So I think that's kind of unfortunate. Yeah, bummer. And then a few games have released in the last month. So I don't know if you are aware, there was a Lord of the Rings game that came out.
Shocking it is.
So it's a Gollum game. It's apparently abysmal. So I've watched a few gameplay clips. It looks terrible. Like there's like these kind of shoddy stealth sequences, platforming that looks like it's from PS1 era. People like, just glitchy as shit, like a terrible story. And like the argument people are making is like, why is this even a thing? So, and the developers even come out and like apologized for it. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's very, very strange.
It's not a good sign.
No, so just terrible all around. Reminds me of Uncharted multiplayer, which wasn't that successful. It's hard to translate, basically. I love Uncharted multiplayer, and I think Uncharted 4 still has quite a healthy player base. Complete horseshit. Yeah, terrible. So I don't know why this was made, but yeah, it's just bad. Peter, you might be interested in this. A Star Trek game came out. I only heard about this yesterday. I didn't even know this was a thing. So it's like do you know Telltale Games?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's
not Batman and Guardians and things, didn't it?
Yes, yeah. It's not from them, but it's that kind of style. It's like a choose your own adventure game. Apparently, it's pretty good. Like not like amazing, but like
is it like Man from Medan, those sort of ones, or?
I would say kind of more like Telltale, like a bit lower budget. Like Man from Medan is like almost photorealistic, like the graphics on them, whereas this is a bit more artistic, comic booky almost looking. But yeah, apparently it's quite good. So I don't know if that's one you might be interested in giving a look.
Yeah, I mean, I love a good Star Trek game. My favorite is still Bridge Commander on the Oculus because you can literally teach it how to listen to your voice. So you can fire photon torpedoes and it shoots and all the rest of it. It's superb.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
Yes,
I'm a
I
geek.
see you just managing the
I
stuff.
just sat in my chair, just sat, make it so. You know,
You do that.
Right. Simon, you want to talk a little bit about Zelda? You've been playing that, lady?
Oh yeah. So Zelda has just come out recently on Nintendo Switch. I absolutely love it. I've been playing it loads. I will say something negative. It is very, very sort of similar to Breath of the Wild. So in the concept is like you've got 4 spirit sort of guardians you've got to help, and then you go back to the castle to beat Ganon sort of thing. The only new element that they've added, which everyone's really enjoying, is this new element where you can sort of build and stick things together and like create crafts and stuff, hovercrafts and cars, and that sort of thing you play endless with, and that's what's made this game really. The graphics have only improved slightly from Breath of the Wild, so we did want to see, but I have seen about, I think Skyward Sword was more realistic graphics, and it just didn't take as well. So but I think it's a great game. It's really good. So
yeah, I have a few friends playing it. Just as it's
any bridges. There's plenty of bridges. You can make bridges actually.
Yeah. Isn't that a thing? People are like skipping sequences by just meticulously building a bridge to go up.
You can basically go grab the Master Sword straight away and everything. Just fly yourself into Haru Castle just by cheating, and So there was actually a duplication glitch as well for a while. So they've only just cancelled it. So with a new update.
But would you say where would you put it against Breath of the Wild at the moment?
It's definitely better than Breath of the Wild because it's a newer game. I just the stories. I just wish the story plot. I love the story itself, but the story plot is still the same. You've got to help Hyrule. You've got to go to like Gorgons. You've got to go to the fish village. You've got to go to like the desert people village, and then there's a sky village as well. You help all 3 of them. You get your spirit guardians that help you and give you extra abilities, and then from that you go and basically save the day. So it just good. So if you love Zelda games, it's absolutely, which I do, and I do love those games. It is good. So
using a lot of terminology there that just sounds like gibberish to me, Simon. But the last Breath of the Wild is supposed to be one of the best games ever made, and this is supposed to be very much in line with that. So I'm sure it's a win for Switch players. And then I'll just talk about this very quickly. Star Wars Jedi Survivor came out last month, so I've been playing that. I'm going to talk a bit more about this on my channel next week or later this week. But it's fantastic. Like it's probably might be my favorite Star Wars game ever made. Really amazing story. Gameplay improves everything in the first game. Much more open. Just exploring and being in this universe is just a really incredible experience, and I think it's got some of my favorite gaming moments like of the last year or two in there. So strongly recommend for Star Wars fans.
I have to say, James, I've been trying to catch up on the cutscenes ready for your show, and I'm blown away by how dark it is in terms of the storyline, but also just the quality of it. It's like watching a movie. Do you know what I mean? It really is very, very impressive.
Absolutely.
So loving it. Okay, guys, so this is the part of the show where we tend to show off a figure or something. Now, not everybody might have brought something. I'm not sure who's got what, but I'll start the ball rolling. You might have seen this on some of my Instagram posts. This is a So Toys Invincible figure. You can't see it on screen, but I can see everybody else's cameras, and everyone's literally running, grabbing stuff. So this is a So Toys. It's called Incredible, but it's obviously Invincible. It's because it's a third-party figure. I've got him in the blooded kind of version. You get swap outs for his hands and everything, so you haven't got to have him all bloodied up. The head sculpt, there's been a bit of criticism because it's not comic accurate. This is So-So's version of the character because obviously it's unlicensed. But you can see the detail in his eyes and everything. That's tremendous. What I really like about this one is it's all magnetic, so you can pop his head off and stick the new ones on. So you can have them kind of clean and all the rest of it. Different heads. So you can swap those out. And you can even actually swap his hair pieces out. If you want to, looks like Andy. So if you wanted to change the hairs, you can swap the different hairs around. I think these figures are stunning for the price, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Huge fan of the character. So yeah, love that figure. I think it's much better than the Omni-Man figure they did a little while ago. Personally. Okay, sorry, just quickly jump into the chat. Another incredible bulge. Not sure if he's talking about the figure or one of us. Here goes another 6 slides. Looks like he had a camel toe. Well, yeah. Okay, who's next? Who's got something to show?
I haven't bought any figures lately, but I just had this one handy, and I thought this is interesting. So, Peter, you told me before that your channel
try to make you big. There you are.
Your channel avatar was like based on like it was like a redesign of a PlayStation a logo or
gamer tag or something.
So I'm pretty sure that character is Cole McGrath from Infamous, and I have a little Cole McGrath statue.
Right.
So I have a statue of the Triple G Comics logo.
Yeah.
In my
basically,
collection.
You've bought yourself, because I know you misses when we're not on air.
Yeah.
You know, so those kind of one night, maybe in between live shows, you sit and look at your statue of us.
I sleep ass to ass with it. Like it's it's great. It's celebration. Yeah. So this is cool. I've had this for a while. So yeah,
I like that. Very cool. Yeah. Very cool, James. Very cool. Luke, we'll come to you next, bud.
Yeah, so I've had these on pre-order for a really long time, and we in the UK, I think we get shortchanged quite a bit because we see these things go up for order, we pre-order them, and we wait months before they arrive, only to then see people in the States saying they're on clearance, and we're still paying the full price for them. But I've got some Masters of the Universe figures, so I've got the New Eternia, many faces, and I love. The New Eternia line is probably my favorite part of this new Masterverse set. I think every New Eternia figure that they've given us is just phenomenal. As you can see here, he's got all these different faces that you can swap out and change. And obviously he contains 3 of them in his actual mask as well. I haven't opened them yet just because I want to make a little unboxing video. So I'm going to photograph all the packaging as well. So
one of my favorite characters, that one. I like that one.
And then I got King Grayskull from the series as well. This pretty much sold out everywhere, so I was waiting for a really long time, just hoping that I would actually receive him. Hoping that he would come. But again, fantastic artwork all on the back there and everything.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
So very excited with these.
Very good, very good. I like those. Look, like those. And yeah, it's an incredible line, that one. Simon, what have you got?
So I've got something a bit different, but I absolutely love the show, and I've got a die-cast Voltron.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Yeah. So this is from Playmate.
Does it detach?
Yeah, they detach, and you can make all the different lions. So each individual lions to make him. So yeah,
very cool.
Yeah.
Not a show I ever watched that one, to be honest, but I'm aware of the character.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's really good on Netflix, the animated version of Voltron. I absolutely love it. So.
Yeah. Very cool. I like that. And I'm a big sucker for die-cast stuff. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's quite weighty and heavy.
Yeah.
So, but
I don't know why, but I just feel like you get better value for money with die-cast.
Yeah, you feel like you get your money's worth.
Yeah, one's heavy.
Yeah. I mean, I've bought some 1/6 scale figures before, and they're no weight at all, and you kind of think, oh. And then you get a die-cast Iron Man, and it's like it feels beefy. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So next up.
James on.
James, I mean, they couldn't see it on screen, but backstage, your little arms were.
That was just for you.
Yeah, I was loving that. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, Luke, what we got?
Right, so the real reason why we're all here, forget about all that other stuff. All jokes aside.
This is why Fuzz is here.
Yeah, Hasbro with the Marvel Legends. I'm not normally a fan of anything that they're doing outside of the retro Spider-Man stuff. That's kind of my jam. That's what I love. But then every now and then they just throw that little spanner in the works, that one thing that makes you look over the other side. And this Hank Pym Ant-Man is just that. This is a really nice old school style figure. And I like my comic book figures. I'm not really a fan of the MCU style figures that they release. So I might have to get this one. I've kind of got my own little Avengers shelf where I've got like my 80th anniversary Captain America and Iron Man and Hulk and Thor and all the rest. I might have to pull the trigger on this one.
Did you get the Doc Ock with Aunt May?
I did, yes.
You better get this one then.
And you know what? I pulled the trigger on that set for the Aunt May figure. I've got the Doc Ock. I've got lots of different Doc Ock figures. I don't necessarily need another one. Although when I received him, I had every intention of buying it, taking the Aunt May out and selling the Doc Ock. However, he's now got a place. I found a new shelf for him to go, a new display. That being said, the other 2-pack.
Luke wanted an Aunt May figure. That's really...
What kind of a sicko have you got to be to want an Aunt May figure in your collection?
So you see, Peter, shall I tell you why? And I've uploaded. I've uploaded images of it, right? I like my action figures to be in action poses. We spoke about it on your last live stream.
Oh, Aunt May in an action pose. Where are we going with this, Luke?
Well, the Dr. Octopus tentacles. Right, hear me out.
Oh God, I don't like where this is going.
Hear me out, right? The Dr. Octopus tentacles have a bendy wire inside them, so you can actually wrap them around her so that she's been captured, and then positioning all your other action figures around. It makes for a great display. So you can keep your dirty minds to yourselves and everything else. It's nice to have some civilian figures, especially one as well known as Aunt May. And now we're getting a Mary Jane. It leads me straight onto this next piece here.
Is this the first Mary Jane figure they've done then, Luke?
No,
not the first. Yeah, so they've done. Yeah. And then previously, like older Marvel Legends, they've given us other Mary Jane figures in the past. But this is right from that 94 cartoon. Seeing her in this purple and yellow, there's just something about that iconic look for a certain generation where this is our MJ. Again, at the moment, I could take or leave the Green Goblin because I already have other Green Goblin figures, and I'm not really too convinced on the head sculpt of this Norman Osborn. I don't know. To me, he looks a lot more like Harry. I don't know if anyone else.
I always think they miss a trick with these kind of figures because it's the same in the 1/6 scale world as well. I would love to stick the Norman Osborn head sculpt on, but I wish they'd give you like an accessory of the mask to stick in the hand. Do you know what I mean? Just to look like
Absolutely. It's always something that they kind of miss out with these figures. You're absolutely right. But yeah, I mean, Simon, you collect Marvel Legends.
Yeah.
Are you interested in these like civilian 2-packs? Do you think that they could have sold these separately, or do you think the 2-pack has to be?
They could have sold them separately. I've got the X-Men 90s versions from the X-Men cartoon, and in the cassette. I love the sort of cassette style boxing. I think with the imagery, they look amazing. But then I understand why I don't think the Mary Jane would have sold as much without, sometimes they decide to do 2-pack just to sell more.
Yeah, so a lot of Aunt Mays hit the secondary market. To answer the price point question from Andy there, I think this was around £50 odd. I think the Dr. Octopus one was like 60. I could be mistaken. Either way, as soon as they announced it, I pre-ordered it just for the civilian figure. I'm gonna put that MJ in the other Dr. Octopus tentacle being captured and held up in that same display, and I think it's gonna look great. So yeah, James, you don't collect any of these, do you? You don't collect this smaller scale.
I have a Mysterio. From the other one. I did collect quite a lot of Spider-Man Hasbro Marvel Legends, but I've dropped off lately in favor of a higher form of collecting. I love them. I love seeing these. Every now and then, like the Doc Ock one, I was tempted just for the Doc Ock because I love that the suit design, and yeah, I think these look great. I've never been a fan of this look from Mary Jane. I like the kind of black top with the sleeve. That's their kind of iconic look. But yeah, I mean, like, it's a good representation of the characters from the show. I think definitely.
Cool. And Peter, you're bound to have had some of the not to dwell on your age or anything, but you must have had the Toy Biz ones.
What a fucking liberty, honestly.
You had the Kenner back in the day, didn't you?
You must have had a lot
the
of
ones,
Toy Biz, right?
The ones I had were made of wood, and you kind of cheeky bastard. No, I did, yeah, and I've got a few. I tend to go down the Thor figures, so when they produce some of the Thor line, I get some of those. I quite like these. I hear what you're saying, Luke, that you like the idea of the kind of the civilian figures. I have to say that's not much interest to me. But this particular pack, if going back, because I know Fuzzy's a big fan of bridges, if you were to have a model bridge, you could make a nice little setup with this, couldn't you?
Yeah.
You know, without being flung off the bridge and whatnot. So yeah, I think it's a nice little set. I think the price point as well, 60 quid. You know,
I think it's about average now, right? It's like 35 pound per figure
Double pack,
nowadays.
yeah.
I think that's quite a reasonable price.
I don't think that's a bad price, yeah.
So
if you think they've done a triple pack Venom one, haven't they? And that or the Venom one you really got for a steal, that was £90. So
yeah,
for the Venom.
I'm still holding off for a 5-pack when it comes to those symbiotes.
Yeah.
I think eventually they'll pull the trigger and give us that 5-pack, and that's when I'll certainly go for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was requested to put this in. It's not really an action figure.
Sorry, it is Hasbro though.
It is Hasbro and it is Marvel Legends. So I gave up one of my slides for this. You know, just so everyone knows.
Sorry.
Did you not get 6 this week? Look,
everybody else got 6. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need to. I don't need that. But no, this looks fantastic. You know, I'm not going to lie. I think this looks great, but it's not really something that I need in my collection. You know, again, when it comes to these superheroes, I don't really know where I would stop. You know, I've seen people collect the Power Ranger helmets, and they've had all of those, and you know, you end up with 6 or 7 of those. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Maybe if you had this, and then obviously the Cerebro, Charles Xavier's, maybe have, you know, buy those 2 and be happy. But I couldn't go through getting everyone, like the Iron Mans, the Black Panthers. You know, it's just too much. What do you guys think on this?
I love a good helmet, and I've got quite
red ones.
I've got. He said purple on my favorite. I've got quite a few in my collection, so I've got Dredd and I've got Thor and I've got Cap and all the rest of it. I think this looks friggin' stunning. It looks absolutely amazing. So yeah, I think. I don't know what the price point on this is, but I probably will pick this up. Fuzzy's distracted us because he's got us very excited. Fuzzy, the Mumra helmet is unbelievable. I've not seen.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I've not seen a Mumra helmet being released. So
I don't know what Mumra is. Apologies.
What?
You don't know Mumra?
Peter, have a word. Have a word, Peter.
What's a Mumra?
What? Mumra the ever living. You need to stop playing on your friggin' games and start reading or watching cartoons, man. He's from Thundercats. Thundercats.
I have no.
It's like Mummy Baddie.
Oh, Mist-filled pits of evil.
Mumra.
Yeah, tremendous. Anyway, Fuzzy, let us know about this superb helmet, because I'd love a bit of Mumra action.
So, Simon, will you be picking one of these up then, since you wanted me to include it in the slides?
I think I would actually, because I've gone down the route and I bought the Stormtrooper helmet, which I actually love. So this would actually, I don't think I would go down a rabbit hole and buy everyone like you're saying, but certain helmets that I think look amazing like this, I would pick up. So
yeah, and I think it's a great cosplay piece as well, right? James, any character cosplay like helmets in your collection, or any of the characters that you follow?
I love the look of the Star Wars Black Series ones like this. You know, a few characters like a Boba Fett or a Mando. I should get, but then again, I've seen some of them in person, and a lot of the time the quality is not there. This one looks incredible though. Like, I think if you're going for a Magneto cosplay, it's a good one.
My biggest concern my biggest concern would be scratching this thing. You know,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
that one little scratch. It's like a car bonnet, right?
You've got to be
once
very
it's
gentle
done-
with your helmet. Very gentle, because they scratch easily. Can I just say, Connie, I was Team Connie, but I'm nah. Well, I mean, how can you not know what the Thundercats are?
Thundercats are ho.
Oh, that was bad, Simon. That was bad.
Just
Thank
get
you,
him
Fuzzy.
off-
Appreciate
Get
it.
him off the screen. Thank you.
Sorry, James. Oh man, I'm double clicking. We're trying
So-
to bring him back. Carry on.
So moving along, this figure from the Four Horsemen. I'm not sure if it's part of the Mythic Legions line or if this is something else. But my God, do those Four Horsemen absolutely kill it with their figures? This is the
That looks
Monkey
incredible.
King, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Instantly
That's
sold
also
out.
awesome.
Right, the images of it look fantastic. Now, as you guys know, I like nothing better than to go into the nearby woods with my action figures and camera and do some action figure photography. I would have loved to have had this thing. Like, this looks absolutely superb. What do you guys think? Are you familiar with the Four Horsemen and their sculpting styles?
Never heard of it. Don't know what it is. I'd very much like to. Is this like an original? Like it's a figure on an original property?
It's just
or
a
is it...
unique original piece. So they normally
I like
take concepts and ideas. So for example, I have a tiger figure, but he's painted green to be like Cringer from He-Man. And
Okay.
you can swap the head. So when you bought him, he was actually an orc with like the big tusk teeth and everything, but he came with the spare head, which obviously made him a tiger. So there's ways around it, and they do a lot of that Masters of the Universe style
Okay.
feel to
So
it.
fits in with them,
And it all fits in with there. They actually designed a lot of the Masters of the Universe 2000 X series action figures as well. And they work quite closely with companies like Super 7 and all the rest of it. You know, they're a tremendous team over there. Peter, are you familiar with the boys over at the Four Horsemen?
I'm not. I'm familiar with the character because he's from mythology, isn't he? The Monkey King. I think they've just brought him into the DC Comics actually. But I think that figure, in terms of a small scale figure, the sculpting on it is incredible. The face is amazing. Just to mention before you move on to somebody else, Fuzzy, that Thundercats Mumra helmet is absolutely friggin' amazing. And it's $4.99, but it looks amazing. So yeah, very cool.
Cool. So yeah, any of you guys, like Simon, have you heard of the Four Horsemen?
I have, yes. I would love this figure because I love the Monkey King. Like, I think it's a great figure. They brought the Monkey King sort of game out recently, which I've been playing as well. That was really cool.
What's it called? Woo something? What's it called?
WooCon, I think it's called. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks really cool. Like a
It
really
is
stylish
really cool.
and-
Yeah. So I'm all for the Monkey King. So.
Cool. Well, anyone who hasn't heard of them, I do highly recommend their figures. They are on the expensive side. These are a lot more premium rate, as it were. But just looking at that, you can see that no
price
detail is
point,
wasted.
Luke? Sort of S figure art sort of price link.
Yeah. I mean, you
Yeah.
do every now and then you get a nice little sale going. Yeah, they can be affordable, but they are on that more expensive side. I tell you what, the way the legends are, going with their prices, I think they're going to be catching up real soon anyway.
Yeah.
So moving along, I mentioned this one last time on the show, not this particular figure, but another Gargoyles figure. They're obviously knocking them out as quickly as possible. But yeah, this is almost completing the line now. James, have you had a chance to finally watch Gargoyles on Disney Plus?
No.
What?
Didn't think so.
Just
What
haven't.
about
I've been,
you,
I've
Peter?
been in the Star Wars buzz. I haven't.
Look,
had
he
time.
still didn't watch Star Wars when we went to Star Wars convention. So
I've not managed to catch up on it either, mate. I like the look of the figure, mate.
Yeah, I mean, it's NECA, right? And at the end of the day, NECA have knocked it out of the park with these animated style figures, whether it be this or the Turtles line or anything other similar. The only downside to it is the licensing issue that stops us from being able to get these in UK stores. So if you want to buy these, it's either eBay, Amazon, or Big Bad Toy Store has been pretty good.
What's it like on Amazon?
Amazon, it's touch and go. Like the prices can be like stupidly high or fairly decent, but it's that postage. The postage just kills it sometimes.
No sellers use Prime, like where you get free delivery.
Yeah, not often. Not
No.
when it's something that they can't just import and sell usually.
Okay.
But that being said, I've had no problems with Big Bad Toys over the last few months of using them. No import fees, no nothing. Nothing gets stopped at customs. You just pay for it all. Obviously, when it goes through checkout, you add a few fees to it already, and that pretty much clears the way and gets you there. So, yeah, I do highly recommend them as a store, and I highly recommend these figures.
Awesome.
It was the same with the what figures did I just pick up? Dungeons and Dragons, the cartoon figures. You couldn't pick them up in a standard shop. Yeah, you had to guess. So I got mine off Amazon, I think it was.
Yeah, it sucks. It's all to do with those licenses. Just certain countries are allowed them, and certain countries aren't for whatever reason. Sticking with NECA, we did get given a April O'Neil once before from the animated line. She came in a 2-pack with one of the foot soldiers, but there was a lot of controversy about the shape of her head. You know, they said it was like a bobblehead. I don't know if you guys remember. Yet, despite that, still sold out everywhere. Still, fetched a very high premium on the second-hand market. But sure enough, NECA have listened and they've given us a re-release in this new packaging with new accessories. Not too sure on the release date, but as with anything, you still can't please everyone because now people are moaning that her neck's too long.
You see, it wasn't a neck I was looking at. I'm trying to think.
I bet it wasn't.
The comic. Well, I'm thinking in the comic, was our waist that thin compared to our hips? I mean,
her waist was very thin, and obviously this is based on the animated TV series as opposed to the comics. But yeah, her waist was very thin.
Doesn't look healthy to me.
It doesn't, does it? But sorry, 1 second. So I'm probably gonna still pick this one up. Even though I have the previous one, I still think it's nicer to have these different display options. Having the different heads and obviously all the accessories and everything. I think this could still be a nice figure to have.
Why is she blindfolded in one? I can't remember.
So there's that. They done the same with the Vernon figure as well. They released him with a blindfolded head as well. So I guess it's great if you want to have them like tied up and captured by Shredder or Bebop and Rocksteady and stuff.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening to this show tonight. Honestly, we've got people in the comments making filth, and then
Fuzzy's on point. I nearly cried a few minutes ago at one of his like outrageous comments.
Thank you, GP. Appreciate that, mate. Sorry, Luke. What's your last image there?
So sticking with the Turtles, going towards the movie line now from NECA, and they've knocked it out of the park with these movie figures. The original 1990s movie figures that they've done in both scales, both the 7-inch scale and then the 1/4 scale, are absolutely amazing. They look just like the Jim Henson suits. Then we were also lucky a couple of years ago to be given the Secret of the Ooze Turtles, which granted they're not my turtles. I'm not really a fan of that particular movie. But I always said, wouldn't it be great if they gave us the turtles from the third movie when they're wearing their samurai gear? And, again, I don't really like that movie, but I like that look. I like that style for the turtles. This is all we have so far, this one image, which is literally just their silhouettes, but we know they're coming. We know we are going to get them. And I, for one, am so excited. Not to go into any details or anything, but I've just got myself out of my debts, and now I'm really concerned that when they announce this, I'm going to go straight back into it. I'm going to take it.
Learn some bloody restraint, Luke, like me. Do you know what I mean?
The problem that we have with this is going to be this year's San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. That's my theory, anyway.
What do you think?
I think this is going to be the exclusive, and I just hope that NECA are sensible enough to release it as a pre-order. Not a timed order, not a first come, first serve. Just release it as a pre-order, give it a 2-week window, and let everyone get what they want.
All I would say, Luke, is if it is a San Diego exclusive, we have a man on the scene. So,
the con man, as we like to call him.
Yeah.
Con man.
Just before we move on, quick question from Ian, because I'm boggled as well. Why the plant pot? It seems an odd array of accessories. I get the recording equipment, but
so I've got that plant pot already, and he came with the Splinter figure. So I don't know if they're just throwing a bunch of free accessories in there for the sake of it to like build up the price point.
Right.
I
Okay.
don't know, because obviously this is a re-release of a figure we've already had.
Yeah.
So I think this is one for the fans who have asked for it, as opposed
Okay.
to them wanting to do it themselves.
Okay.
Again, I'm not too sure.
Interesting.
But no, Peter, you went out and bought the turtle figures, right? You've got the
So
original.
I regret buying the
1990s.
turtle figures. And I'll tell you why. So I bought the NECA turtle figures, which are stunning, absolutely stunning. And I know Fuzzy's been putting some imagery on his Instagram, so check that out, of some of the monster versions. But I bought them, and then I went and bought the Foot Soldiers, the Shredder, and I bought the Last Ronin, and I absolutely love them. But I can't help but be attracted to the larger scale ones. I can't remember what scale they are, but
1/4.
1/4, yeah. They are stunning. The detail is just amazing in them. So I think at some point I'll probably pick them up, just because I love them. I think they look amazing.
I'm still holding out that they might do a Splinter in that size, because they've done the 4 turtles, they've done a Foot Soldier and a Shredder all in 1/4. Yeah. I want the Splinter, and do you know what? I want a flopped version as well. I want one with hand punched fur.
Yeah,
I think that would be absolutely amazing.
It's interesting because from that line, I would argue that the Splinter figure is the weakest of the line for me.
Yeah, he just happens to be my favorite character, so it's I'm very torn. James, please tell me that you've seen these old Turtles movies.
Nope, don't like turtles. I told
you. Jesus, James! No,
stupid idea.
Old turtles.
Stupid idea.
Breaks my heart.
The turtles. How could they be ninjas? No, I'm pretty sure I've seen the original one when I was like super young. But like, turtles is just not a thing I've ever really connected with. Like, I know, amazingly, only person here that doesn't like absolutely love them. But yeah, not for me. Like,
I think for me, it's a bit like because I'm not going to upset people. I wouldn't say I absolutely love them. I do love the turtles, but it's the same as my He-Man, my Transformers, my G.I. Joe. I remember watching the cartoons, and that's where my love of them is. I've never really gotten that invested since that point. Do you know what I mean? I've not read the comics, I don't think. I have watched the more recent movies and the original movies and all that kind of jazz. But it's that nostalgia thing again for me. It's linked into your childhood and the power that has on you, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree. But, you know, I can respect as well that maybe it's not one for James. Simon, you a Turtles fan?
Not a massive fan, but I'm the same as Peter. I do remember watching the cartoons and things like that. So I do like the Turtles. Yeah, I do remember them. But it's not something I like. I haven't read the new Last Ronin, which I would like to read because it's supposed to be amazing. And I haven't really.
It's not amazing, but it's not bad. It's not. Yeah, it's entertaining. It's enjoyable.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
looking forward. They're making a game version, aren't they? So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Cool. And then my last one, finishing off with Jurassic Park. I didn't think I needed this when they first announced this Hammond Collection Brachiosaurus. I thought, well, I've got the legacy version. I don't need anything else. But if this can genuinely stand up on those hind legs and give us that classic pose, I'm gonna have to pull the trigger. I don't know where I'm gonna display it because that's obviously gonna be a very tall figure in that pose. But I'm gonna have to pull the trigger and buy one.
Surely it must, Luke. I mean, surely it must, Luke. If they've got the image on the box, you would hope that it would.
You would hope. Yeah. I mean, the back end of it, the back legs and everything, would they be weighted for in order to do that? I'm not sure how they go about doing it.
Just get 2.
Yeah. Just get 2.
Yeah.
What? How does getting 2 stop the weight problem to make it stand up?
Just lean one against the other.
Yeah,
in a mating pose.
Yeah. No. Simon, we can't argue with that logic. You know what I mean? That's just get 2.
Okay. Well, it's got it in that picture. Look at that top right.
Yeah.
But I know that you guys aren't as into your dinosaurs as I am. But what do you guys think of this particular line? Do you see a place for the Hammond Collection opposed to what you get in the shops regularly?
I'd literally just walk right, like breeze right past this without skipping a beat in Smiths. You know, like it's just it's cool if you like dinosaurs. You know, if you're 6.
Well, Mike, to be fair,
James.
No, it's what you like. I love that. Like,
to be fair, you know, I'm there a lot of the time because of the children. Don't get me wrong, I love this stuff, but I love that my childhood is still represented for the next generation.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
the fact that my kids can go in and buy Jurassic Park, Turtles, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, all the stuff that we love. Oh yeah, at least
I think for me, it's the price point, Luke, because I think every kid loves a dinosaur. Do you know what I mean? You're always going to shift dinosaur figures, and there's a Jurassic Park line, as you know. Is this more geared towards people like yourself rather than the kid collectors?
So this is considered to be the collector's line as opposed to the other toys that you just find in Smith's toy shop. You get a little bit more paint deco. You get the hinges and the joints and stuff. But the price isn't that bad. Like in comparison, the price isn't too far up from anything else. So to put it into context, when the Brachiosaurus from the Legacy collection, which you would consider a kid's toy, first came out, that was selling for £80. Wow. Right? That's a lot of money for the toy that it is. In fact, here we go. There he is there.
It's a canny size.
It's a big old toy. All right. So
you need 2 of them so you can stand them against you.
Way bigger than I was expecting.
Actually, I've got 4 of them because what I did do is when they were in the sale, I purchased them for £30 each. But again, that doesn't have the same articulation as this. So I'm not in a rush to go out and buy this one. If it comes out and people make YouTube videos showing that it can indeed be in that pose, then I will be on the lookout for one, but I'm not going to rush out to buy it.
Yeah, like outside of, you know, the like Pound Shop or B&M branded ones, like is Jurassic Park the like premier, like the main kind of dinosaur figure line nowadays?
I would say so. I mean, the same company, Mattel, obviously have the rights for Dino Riders, but I don't see them doing anything with that license while they've got the Jurassic Park stuff.
Yeah,
you know, obviously they could do that again after the fact.
Yeah. Just before we move on, I'm just going to skirt over the fact that Fuzzy doesn't believe in dinosaurs. Just, you know, he believes it when he sees it. I mean,
you can buy dinosaur bones like on eBay, like legit, and they're not expensive at all.
How do you know they're actual dinosaur bones? But
aren't they just?
You can bring it to the science nerds, and they'll tell you like.
Science nerds.
It comes with a certificate.
What science nerds do you know?
£100 if you ride it like a horsey round.
Right, let's
what is happening to this shit?
Hang on, how do we
I
do
would
this?
I would not be putting something with such a long neck between my legs, not even for the chance of £100.
Right, go on. It's your time to shine.
Not going to happen. But, you know, the other thing is, you know, like I say, this is a big old figure, right? It's a big toy, and I would have killed for something like this when I was a kid.
Yeah,
you know, it was far beyond what we ever got with the Kenner line or anything else. And I think that's why I like it now. You know, like I say, I've got one of them here. My son's got one that he plays with. They're just great toys. So
I'm assuming it scales with like the T-Rex and whatever else from this line, like
all in perfect scale. I think some of their smaller dinosaurs are a little oversized in order to accommodate the joints, because obviously, like when you see like the Dilophosaurus, for example, with Dennis Nedry, you know, the spitting dinosaur in the movie, that's a lot smaller, and they've obviously had to make the dinosaur figure that much bigger. But that's a nitpick, I think. So yeah, that's cool. That's my picks for this month.
Excellent. Thank you, Luke. Very, very cool. Okay. Oh, God.
Let's get this over with.
Jesus. Brace yourselves, YouTube.
Hey, that's quite a good cutscene. Did you make that
Thanks
special?
very much. Yeah, thanks very much.
Wow.
Okay, Simon, take it away, mate.
No anime because we had so much Star Wars news that I just wanted to bring Star Wars. So anime for next time. I'll chuck a couple of anime. Into the Black series. So we had obviously we came back from the Star Wars convention and we saw stuff there that was exclusives and everything. And they announced the Axe Wolves helmet. So talking on helmets again, Luke. This is something I would buy though, like the same with the Magneto helmet. So this Axe Wolf helmet.
This specific why Axe Wolves and not like a Boba or a Django or a
I just don't like the Boba Fett one. The Boba Fett one, it just doesn't get me. But this one's a Mandalorian helmet without being like
that watch
cliche with Mando. Do you know what I mean? So I just like this Axe Wolves ones. I like these unique sort of helmets that aren't like the main characters. So.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. And has everyone here watched The Bad Batch?
No, but I'm blasting through Clone Wars, so I'll get to it very soon.
You'll get to it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So The Bad Batch is an animated series following on from the Clone Wars, which I absolutely love. I already have a set from season 1. And what Hasbro has done, and we saw at the Star Wars convention, was a new set from season 2. So on the right here is Omega. She plays a big part in, and will be in the season 3, a major part in the series. And then if we look at the next slide, Peter, then we have a whole new set of Bad Batch figures, all from.
Now you expressed annoyance at this, Simon, didn't you?
Because at first,
I remember at the show you being like,
yeah, I've already got.
It's okay. He loves them now.
Yeah.
I've already got a Bad Batch, so I've already got these guys. So from season 1. So the fact that Hasbro has announced like this line from season 2, it's just changed. It's just them articulating different things. I don't like the Hunter's face in this. But I'm still going to get them. So I've already got them on pre-order.
Now I do see a
question for you there from Fuzzy.
Yeah, so the repaints, obviously, from basically the season 1, just stylizing to
all of them are
2.
repaints, are they?
I think, definitely Wrecker is. Yeah, a lot of them are repaints, I would say. Yeah,
a scarf here, there, something like that.
Probably. Yeah, Hasbro, if they can do repaint, they will do. So.
Now I do see a Clone Commando, which I am a big fan of because I love the game.
Yeah, a Clone Commando
Star
is the new
Wars.
one added in here.
Which one's that one, guys?
On the right.
And on the right.
So that originated in a game called Star Wars Republic Commando, which is a game I absolutely adored. So yeah, they slid into canon basically from the Clone Wars, and I think they've been brought back for Bad Batch. So I'll probably pick up on them.
Yeah.
Connie's your wavelength. She's probably your age, Simon. Look, she can use words like "they look sick."
I say that all the time. Sick.
Yeah, I don't think I can say sick.
I can't use that. I'm too old for that.
You just sound like you mean it's disgusting. Like, oh,
yeah.
Sick. Yeah.
So,
sorry, Andy Green Centurion. Are you talking about the Star Wars figures? Or are you talking about the original Centurions figures? If you're talking original Centurions figures, yes, I've got that.
Do you know a Star Wars character called the Green Centurion?
No, that's what I'm.
No, exactly. Yeah,
I don't know most Star Wars. If the Star Wars character is not called Luke or Vader, I'm clueless. You know what I mean?
So once you get to the Bad Batch, these you will appreciate these. But I obviously collect the Pipeline series. So for me, they've announced quite a lot of new ones on the Pipeline series. So Hasbro Pulse did an announcement on May the 4th, and a lot of these. So we actually saw these already. But at first, I thought I couldn't get them because they were saying a couple of these were Walmart exclusives. And so I was messaging Efren saying, "Oh, look, can you keep an eye out and get these for me?"
He's blocked you, mate. He's blocked you.
He's blocked me.
He says he'll do it anytime, but he means like once every.
Yeah. But luckily,
like
when he
5 of them in a week,
he did kindly look out for me for them. And then luckily, for some reason, they weren't exclusives. You could get them on UK Hasbro website.
Oh, right.
So,
just happens sometimes. Like they say it's exclusive.
They say in America or Walmart exclusives. But then here you can get them on the Hasbro Pulse website. So Some of these, I will say, will sell out a lot quicker than others. So
I like it's a lot more colorful than the first season, like the design. So actually, I quite dig it.
Just on that point, Simon, just on that point, sorry, about the mail order figures and things like that. Did you guys get your figures from Star Wars Celebration? Your Red Vader thing? Did that come through?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I got it straight away that next week.
No, I had a fuck up with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Where my codes, like I refreshed the page when I was after typing in the code and it wouldn't give me it, and then by the time like someone got back to me, it's gone. Yeah.
A lot of, I would say, a lot of the figures that get announced on the UK Hasbro pools, if it's a figure people want, they do sell out very quickly in the UK Hasbro pools. So, like, weirdly, the Bad Batch ones haven't, but there's some other figures that I will be coming to that have. So
there wasn't a huge amount of Bad Batch like representation at Celebration, just in general. No. Yeah. Outside of the panel, there was not really a huge amount of merch or statues, figures, T-shirts. You couldn't find a T-shirt at all, could you?
No. I love Bad Batch and no T-shirts. Yeah. If we look on the next slide, we've got some new announcements of pipeline figures, which I have pre-ordered, and these look amazing. So we've got another Ahsoka. So this is, I think, a third type Ahsoka that they've released.
Season 3 to like 5-ish, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. This sold out on Hasbro Pools website straight away.
I imagine so.
Everyone wanted the Ahsoka. I've pre-ordered the Ahsoka, and then you've got Darth Malgus. Now you might know these ones, James, because that's from the Gameverse. So
Knights of the Old Republic, isn't it?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
And then we've got General Grievous, and then to go with the General, which looks amazing, because the Grievous we only had before was in the I think the archive version. So this is the first pipeline. So pipeline is these.
Because it says gaming greats, I'm assuming that's Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
1, is it? Because there's no cape, and I think you could have thrown a cape in there.
Yeah.
I
no
like
cape
that cape
on this,
look.
But... and then luckily you get the Mana Guard with it as well as a figure. So that would be cool for making with General Grievous with Mana Guards. So I think that's a really cool setup for people who build and everything. These figures, the Ahsoka figure I do. So I pre-ordered 3 of them, but the Mana Guard. So for these ones, so yeah, really
that is my favorite look for Ahsoka, clothing wise. Again, I'm working through Clone Wars. She's just got this one, and I'm like, I like this look, this design. It's a cool one.
So we've got Rosary's version, and then there was the younger version, Clone Wars, and so this is the newer version from the Clone Wars. So we're happy that they've released this one. So.
Very cool.
Yeah. Sold out pretty much straight away. So I think you'll struggle to get it on the Hasbro website in the UK, but definitely keep an eye out on Amazon and eBay's. So. Okay, on to the next slide.
Just before we move on, can I just say we've got 18 to 20 people watching. So thank you very much, everybody. Could you please hit that like button and subscribe to myself and my colleagues? It would be much appreciated. Thank you very much.
Then we got these announced. So, okay, before I get on to the
Chihuahua, is that an Ewok? Chihuahua.
No.
Chihuahua.
So I was really happy we got some more. I've got the pipeline set for Return of the Jedi. So I was really happy they announced a Wicket and a Chewbacca. So for the Return of the Jedi, which is this green pipeline set. And they also announced a 5s, which was from the Clone Wars. So 5 sold out pretty much straight away as well for people building army sets. And so I really was happy with those announcements. And then they announced these weird vintage collectibles for Star Wars.
How dare you, Simon? These are, I assume these are reproductions or in the style of when the Ewok cartoon came out.
Yeah. And to be honest, I'm more likely to buy those than I am anything else you've shown so far.
Yeah. Exactly. With the nostalgia,
Yeah. Well, it is nostalgia. I can't remember watching the cartoon. I've watched Caravan of Courage and things like that, so I do know the Ewok. I didn't even know there was a girl Ewok called Kinta. So
Nisa.
What is it?
Nisa, because
Nisa. Okay.
Nisa.
Well,
I'm not really a fan just on the Chewbacca. I'm not really.
What's wrong with
I like.
Chewbacca's face? It looks weird.
That
He's
wasn't
got
what I was going to get into. I don't like when a figure is like so specific to a moment. I like when it's an option in the display, like that chain to be an option on a normal Chewbacca. You could just have a normal Chewbacca or that. You know, I don't like when this is the figure
it could have been
for
an
that
additional
moment.
head as well.
So
yeah, exactly.
We've got a Chewbacca in the archive version without obviously that, so normal Chewbacca already. So I think they just wanted to fit it somewhere into the pipeline version. So obviously Return of the Jedi, this is where he had this on, so that's why they brought that out. So but you are right.
You know, like I understand they'll make more money because some people buy two. You know, they'll buy the normal and they'll buy this one. But it's just nice. I think, you know, a good thing about 1/6 figures is they tend to do that. It's, you know, they have the scene and then here's another display option, accessories for this, you know.
That just makes me want to buy two and display them both ways.
Yeah. Fair point.
And then if we get on to my final 5th slide, because I only went 5. I don't know really this character, but I did read him up and he was announced. Don Dokondar. I can't pronounce
Dokondar.
Dokondar. Apparently he's a really popular character in Star Wars. He's like a big like dealer type guy. First time I ever heard of him, but
Clone Wars, is he?
I think he's in the Clone Wars, but I
don't think
he's
I met him yet.
If he's in all sorts, he is apparently. So yeah,
I
I've never heard of him. So
no, I don't know him.
No. But what I was really happy with is what they've announced coming up. You know, for the pipeline reveals, archive and normal pipeline. So for the archive, they've obviously got Bo-Katan, and then they've got Luke in his which outfit?
Hoth.
His Hoth outfit. That's it. Then another Darth Vader. We can't get enough Darth Vaders. Plenty in the pipeline version, but not in the archive. And then a Stormtrooper in the archive as well.
It baffles me how, like, and it's the same thing with 1/6 figures, how hard it is to just get a fucking Stormtrooper. Why don't they just mass produce them? That should be the easiest figure to get.
Army builders walk in, they buy the whole lot in one go.
Why don't? But they should like prep for that, you know. If you want a Stormtrooper in a hot toy one, it's like 500 quid to get one second hand. Why can't you just? These should be 200 a pop. The easiest one to get. Like it's the one everyone wants. It's the iconic thing from the series.
Denim Antiques. I knew, antique collector, whatever. Anyways.
Whatever, I don't care.
Whatever, Andy. Whatever.
Move on. Stupid comments.
Yeah, come on, Andy. Whatever.
Andy just done your homework for you. Show some respect.
But the pipeline reveals I was really happy with. So we've got Paz Vizsla. Now we've already got Paz Vizsla, but not actually in the pipeline set itself. It's like a collectible set. So with Jon Favreau, you can get one with Jon Favreau's head. Yeah,
and then there was like Heavy Mando. Wasn't the original
Heavy Mando
before they even named him?
So obviously they're going to be that. Okay, it's another repaint model that they're just going to chuck out Paz Vizsla again.
Is there like a shield accessory at least with this one or something?
I don't think so.
We don't know. Yes, actually, it's quite aside.
No. So these were just announced. Yeah. I don't know what unit this is.
R5D.
D something.
R5D3 or something like that.
You're just making stuff up.
Yeah.
No, this is the one.
I don't even believe that these pronunciations are correct.
This is the one. It's in A New Hope, and then Mando has it in Mandalorian. It's that one.
R2390.
R5. It's R5D3 or something like that.
No, it's not the one out the Mando one. That's a complete. They've already. That one's already been released and announced.
What's this one from?
I have no idea.
Okay, well then
it's an R unit, so someone else might.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Moving on, guys.
We do have a young version Anakin coming out.
Dick Lloyd, respect.
Yeah, which is cool. And then a Padme. Everyone's been asking actually all this time, and we've never had a Padme. So
that's crazy. No Queen Amidala, no Attack of the
No.
Clones, White.
No,
nothing,
not
yeah,
in the
crazy.
pipeline, or young Anakin, and people have been crying out for it for ages. So to fill these, and then this guy, I don't know his name, from the new Mando series.
It's escaping me, but yeah, he's from Mando. He's
Jeff.
the
Jeff.
X-Wing guy. Yeah,
Captain
might be
Zara,
Jeff. I don't know.
isn't it? Captain Zara. Yeah.
Captain something.
Zara.
Yeah.
It's Captain something anyway.
I'll ask Andy for you because he's not talking to you.
Andy, would you please tell Simon who that character is, if you would be so kind?
Yeah. But you don't have to.
Yeah.
He won't thank you for it anyway.
Simon, do you know what, Simon? You got through that unscathed, I think.
Yeah,
you
actually,
did
very well done.
You did well there, Simon.
Thanks.
Hats off to you, mate. Hats off. Good boy. Well done. Yeah. Well done. Okay, guys. Thank you very much, chaps. We're coming to the end of the show now. Can I just say, I've been in a shitty mood all day for various reasons, and this has really perked me up tonight. It's been a good, fun show. So I do like it when we have a big chat, and the chat has been buzzing tonight. You guys have been phenomenal. So thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. Okay, just quickly touching on some of the things that are coming up on my channel. If you like toys and action figures, please do check out some of my few videos that I've got stacked that are coming out in the next few months. This is going to be mental. So Thursday night, we've got Dr. Von Hoot in the house for This Is My. We were doing a show the other night, and Grey Man said that he thought Dr. Von Hoot was just Jason Parker in a mask, which I thought, so really looking forward to that. That's going to be really cool. Saturday night, we'll be doing another live show. Even though I said it wasn't going to be a weekly show, we'll be doing another live show, which is always fun. This week's was great fun. We had a lot of people on screen, so I thought it was going to be a disaster, but it went very, very well.
Yeah,
so
flowed really well. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. This week, go and check out last week's video, and make sure you jump in the comments and put hashtag HRO. And then on this week's show, we're going to do a spinny wheel thing and give away 4 sets of 5 packs of cards, which I'll ship anywhere in the world. So please do make sure you check that out. Oh, next Monday, sticking with the Star Wars theme, spotlight on Star Wars. So we've done a lot of Star Wars content on various channels, but we've never really done a bit of a deep dive in terms of looking at the action figures.
This is going to be 4 hours.
Yes,
this is going to be long.
Looking at my favorite comics, my favorite reads, which I'm looking forward to because I'm a bit naive to Star Wars kind of comic books and book series. With favorite films, with favorite TV shows, all that kind of stuff.
Timeline and everything.
Yeah, we're going to cover as much as we can. So that's going to be a fun show. Really looking forward to that one. And I think that's all I have on my channel. Sorry, just jumping back. As I always like to do, shout out to the UK live show community. I always do that because anybody that watches will know that doing a live show, if you haven't got a great support, can be quite challenging. So just to give a bit of a nod, Tuesdays we'll have This Week in Metropolis. Those boys are back and they're doing some superb shows. They've got Kurt Cobain. Who was Kurt Cobain's band?
Nirvana.
Is it Nirvana? They've got a tribute act to Nirvana, I think it was, and they're talking to them about their kind of experiences. That should be fun.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Wednesday we've got the Nerd Herd as ever, and they're doing a review. And again, my brain's just gone blank. They're doing a review of Blackest Night, Green Lantern Blackest Night. I think that'll be a high scorer because that'll be a very, very cool, very cool show, I think. We've got the Killer Comic Show. I'm not sure, but they might be back this Thursday. The guys will post on Instagram. Andy might tell in the comments if he's still around. But hopefully they will be back this Thursday, giving all the cool geeky news. And then on Saturday, we've obviously got Grey Man with Cover Slingers. So please do check him out as well. Week after that, we've got JP Venom's live show where we're going to be reviewing Noctura, which is really interesting because I've not read that one, so I'm looking forward to that. James, we'll start with you, mate. You got anything coming up?
Yeah, I am doing on Wednesday at 8 p.m. a Jedi Survivor review, live spoiler review, and Star Wars Visions we'll be talking about as well. So we're doing Star Wars special, so that should be a bit of crack.
Very cool.
So
looking forward to that, and like I say, I'm watching the cutscene, so can't wait for that.
Would you believe this picture is an in-game screenshot. Like I took
Yeah, it's
this
incredible.
in the middle of gameplay. Like it just looks incredible. Like
Look amazing.
such a good game. Yeah. So
Yeah, and the actor's superb. I liked him in Gotham.
Yeah.
Efren's just saying there that next Monday's show is going to be 24 hours long. At least, mate. At least. Fuzzy, you're quite right, Fuzzy. It's not Nirvana I'm thinking of. I'm thinking Foo Fighters. It's a Foo Fighters tribute act that they're going to be doing. So that'll be really interesting. Okay. I guess Andy's not on.
That's either about the show or that's him saying he's not going to tell us.
Could be either. Nocturna is one of my favorites. Yeah, looking forward to reading it. Luke, what you got coming up in your channel? And before we move on, Luke, can I just say a massive congratulations to you because I had a quick look at your latest video, the Where's Wally one, and it's stonking through the views. So congratulations,
yeah,
very good.
I've been quite surprised by that, but I'm also very proud of it. So thank you for saying that. Yeah, I'm not too sure when my next video will be because, like I said before, the kids are on half term at the moment, so I probably won't get something done this week. But there'll certainly be something coming out after that. That's partly why I released that Where's Waldo video as early as I did because I actually released 2 videos that week as it was. But no, yeah, if you can head on over to the channel and give it a watch if you haven't done so already, it'd be much appreciated because I am rather proud of that one.
Good stuff. Simon, have we got anything coming in for you, mate?
I am joining James on his show on Wednesday. So nothing on my show as of yet because I've been busy. So
Good stuff. Okay, ladies and gents, can I just say a massive thank you to the panel. You guys, as ever, have been fantastic. And this has been a good laugh. So thank you very much for that. And like I said before, huge thank you to everybody in the chat. You have been amazing tonight, actually. It's been a really buzzing show. So thank you very much. Don't forget, for anybody that wasn't here earlier, we're giving away this toy set. All you have to do is literally send us an image on Instagram of your favorite action figure in your collection. Or if you haven't got any action figures, just your favorite toy from your childhood, an image of that. And we'll spin the wheel and give away this Thor set on my next show. I think it's worth about 40-50 quid. So if you want to flog it on eBay, crack on. But yeah,
I was with you when you. I think I was with you when you bought.
No, I got this from a toy fair in Newcastle.
Oh, was it?
I got very excited and bought it and thought, what the shit have I bought that for? So, yeah.
I said that too.
Okay. With that, ladies and gents, we'll call it a night. Thank you very much. Really do appreciate everybody watching. And we will, as ever, catch you next time. And I'm just filling it out because I cannot find me bloody end. There it is. Bye.